We're in the building. DJ Gambini, the Renaissance Man, and this is Let's Be Reasonable. Presented to you by Country Vision Studios. We're back in the building today, and I'm going solo dolo. No Sean Star here today. It's kind of a sensitive subject I'm gonna be discussing today, and that's the 2024 election, right? Everybody's on different sides of the podium, and everybody have different opinions. You know me, I get into debates every day with people about different aspects of what's going on with the election, and it's no secret. I'm voting for Trump, and a lot of people, so most people, I ain't gonna say a lot, but most people say you ain't black if you vote for Trump. I don't know, man. The other day I had to pull out my birth certificate for something, and I was looking at it, and the box was checked that my father black, my mama black, so can't nobody tell me I'm not black. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be black no matter who I vote for or whatever. The thing that gets me is when I'm having these discussions with people is that I believe they try to put out a lot of falsehoods. Don't get me wrong; it's your choice whether you like Trump or not. If you don't like Trump, don't vote for him. I mean, but don't sit up there and twist and mingle what is being said. You know what I'm saying? Um, let's start with when he was visiting the National Reporter for Black Journalists or whatever that thing was when he was up there with the black journalists. On social media, they tried to spin it like Trump was so disrespectful to that lady and all this right here. But if you watching and me being a podcaster, not a very good podcaster, but a podcaster nevertheless, I know when I have a guest on my show, the first thing you're supposed to do is try to make somebody comfortable. You speak to them, ask them how they've been doing, what's been going on with them. She didn't. She jumped straight into basically race baiting about, his past dealings with Klan members, whatever. I mean, it was a bunch of racist stuff, and she asked him, why should black people give you the vote now? And Trump just told her, that's a horrible way to ask a question. And it really is. You didn't ease me into it. You didn't kiss me first, and certain people know what that means. He answered the question. He laid out the stuff he did while he was president last time, and he told her basically the answer to your question is I'm the best candidate for African Americans. And when it got online, it was like, oh, he just so disrespectful to that lady and all this right here. And I'm like, I ain't see that. And then the thing about me, I'm not trying to get nobody to change their mind. I feel like you vote for whoever you want for, but I do think as a responsible adult, you should look at the facts, and you shouldn't look at how media and social media they just twisting it up real bad, and it just kills. Like right now, Joe Rogan has a $30 million lawsuit because MSNBC took a clip of what he was saying, chopped it up, and made it change the whole thing of what he's saying. And that's what people tend to do. They take a little sample of something instead of listening to the whole, the whole thing. They don't sit up there and listen to the whole thing. They just listen to a little piece. Here we go with the racists and all that right there. Another big story that came from that visit, with the black journalist was him questioning, is Kamala Harris black? I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna tell you, she is of color. You can't. I mean, she is of color, but is she black? I wouldn't call her black. I mean, people definition of black is different. For me, it's most of us that have, you know, African American heritage. That's what I would consider as black. And they love to say, well, her daddy was Jamaican, and Jamaicans, they was from Africa and all this right here. But I mean, they also say that her daddy family used to be slave traders. So I mean, it's a slippery slope when you go there. And was he right for doing that? In my mind, yes, because he gave you something to think about. She only saying she black now because she running for president. When she ran for the Senate in California, she was saying, "Hey, I'm gonna be the first Asian female." You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be the first Asian female to occupy the Senate or be in the Senate or however you want to put that. And I'm like, so now that you need the black vote, you black. You know, I think she should just say, okay, technically I'm not a black person. I'm of color. Yeah, she is of color. You know, I think anytime you have melanin or whatever that makes us, brown, black, or whatever in your skin, they're gonna label you that. And when we go to talking about biracial people, they are considered black because most of the time, biracial people are, one black parent, one white parent. And most of the time, I'm gonna say most because I can't speak for all of them, but most of the time, one of them parents does have African American heritage in their family somewhere. So, that's the way I feel about that. And then he did good by just even showing up. You know, Kamala Harris and then Kamala Harris didn't even show up. You know what I'm saying? And Trump took time and said, "I'm gonna show up." They twisting the narrative again, saying, "Oh, he was an hour late and all this." No, he got on that stage and said that. Now, was it about the real time fact checking? I don't know. I don't know if that was the case, but I do know that he wasn't late. And the reason why he got rushed off stage, because the man had to be at another rally in a whole nother state. So, I mean, he had to go. He only had selected time to be there. But the fact of the matter is, he did make time to come there. And just the other day, man, I'm texting in a group of guys, right? It's four of us in there. And and I was showing this guy, I text in the group, uh, a tweet that a guy had put out there that showed Trump in Atlanta sitting around the table with black business owners and chopping it up, chewing the fat, whatever they was doing. And I was just explaining to them, the Democrats don't do that. They put somebody on stage like Meg the Stallion, and I ain't got nothing against Meg the Stallion, even though I don't listen to her music. I'm not gonna lie, I don't listen to it. I don't listen to much uh real what they call hip hop, if it's a such thing anymore. Except for Boss Man D'Lo, I like him. I think his flow is real smooth because I'm a former aspiring rapper, like I'm an aspiring podcaster, right? But you put Meg the Stallion on stage to draw the crowd and all this, and when I looked at that, it was a bunch of people up there that was at the rally looking shocked, like you know this is what this how you rally us. You don't get up here and tell us what you're gonna do for us or nothing like that right now. I mean, I'm human, and I'm open to change my mind about anything. If Harris was to get up there and say some stuff about something, I think that'll help me out more than I feel like Trump would. I probably would change my vote. But my main thing is I really don't agree with the ideology of the new Democratic Party because I've always voted Democrat, in my younger days, and especially when Obama was president. I was big on the Democratic Party, but then instead of veering to the left, they took a hard left. And a lot of that stuff I just don't agree with, man. And I just can't sit up here and say I do. Not saying I got nothing against, gay people or nothing like that. If that's what you want to do, you do it. But I don't believe in all this gender neutral stuff like that. I don't like that. Ain't no such thing. Girls are girls, boys are boys. You know, maybe at 45 I'm just old or something. You know what I'm saying? But that's just the way I feel. And I don't feel like uh if you transition from if you can from boy to a girl, you should be playing girl sports. I just don't agree with that. I'm sorry. I was having a discussion on my page, on my normal page, not the DJ Gambino, the Renaissance Man page. I wasn't having that discussion. I was having that discussion with, a podcast colleague. Me and her, we didn't get into it or nothing. Because like I said, for the most part, people that I talk to and we debate about the election or whatever, we don't really get into it. We just everybody say their piece, and at the end of the day, is you vote for who you want to vote for, and I vote for who I want to vote for. But her thing was, stuff like that don't affect my day to day living. But at the same time, I'm raising little girls, you know, and I just don't feel like it'll be right for them to share locker rooms with boys. I don't think that's right. And I might be wrong. I could be wrong. I might be old fashioned for saying that or whatever, but I just don't like it. And I just think the Democratic Party, they represent a little too much of that. They rather see stuff like that than actually taking on main issues. Biden got two people released the other day, and I'm like, hell, they look like they was Russians going by their last name. They seem like they was Russians anyway. And hell, one of them got out and said he's still gonna do the same thing he did that got him locked up over there. So I don't know. I don't know. And when it comes to policy, to me, it seems like Bidenomics ain't working. And to me, as long as Camilla Harris was his vice president, we're gonna get more of the same. We just gonna get more of the same. I don't think nothing's gonna change. And I know it feel like we taking a step back if Trump get elected. But in life, I was always told sometimes you got to take a step back to take two steps forward. And the world is on the edge of war, and it's just too much craziness just to be voting for people because they black or because they a woman. I think we all should sit down and look at the hard facts and see what's be going on with whatever. You know what I'm saying? And another thing we be having going when we be debating a little. I'm gonna say we be debating because we don't really argue. Sometimes we get a little loud, but hey, I'm a black man. We get loud, right? We go to hollering at each other and shouting, but at the end of the day, we'll shake each other hands or give each other a dap and be like, "Hey man, it is what it is." Cause all of us really crazy. You know what I'm saying? They love to holler Trump a racist. Okay, and most of the time, I just tell them. Fact of the matter is, the only president I know that's white and wasn't racist probably was Bill Clinton. He never gave me no idea that he was racist. And I'm too young for the Jimmy Carter. I think he was a real nice guy. I think it'd be hard for him to be a racist too. But any other president, you can't tell me they didn't feel some type of way, especially the ones that kept, mainly the white men in power with them. It was mainly white people on their thing, like on their staff and all this right here was always white people, in the politics and all this right here. But thanks to the internet, black people done joined the coalition. And I just feel like all of them racist have been racist. I'm talking about former presidents. Now I'm not talking about all white people because you do have some black people that say, "Hey man, all white people racist to some extent," and I'm like, man, most black people racist to some extent, and they'll give me some examples of what Trump done did that was racist. They like to lead off. Everybody lead off with the guys in New York, the five guys that was locked up and they didn't commit the crime, and Trump posted the ad in the magazine, saying they should do this to him, they should do that to him, and all that. Okay, I say, you know what? That was wrong. That was wrong, man. He ain't had no business doing that. But at the same time, why the lady went and lied on them boys? Just went and told a blatant lie. Just went and lied on them boys. Okay. And then why did the police beat them boys into a confession. But we don't never want to talk about none of that. Only thing we want to talk about is what Trump did. What Trump did. It's a lot of factors that was into that. And at the end of the day, he was just going off public knowledge that was given by the police. Now, do I think he had to go to the extent of putting it in a magazine? And no. No, I don't. He didn't have to do all that. But I do feel like there was no consequences for the cops and the lady. This lady just went in there and just told a slap lie. Then they go to talking about blacks living in, his apartments and his estates. I mean, that was kind of crazy, but at the same time, why was the NCAACP giving him awards? Why was he rolling with people like Jesse Jackson? You know, and Al Sharpton? I think he just need to sit down. You need to sit down, bro, because you don't let black people down a dark path, and some people starting to see the light, but it's so far they don't followed you so far. It's a long travel back. Jesus. Okay, when Trump was president, oh man, them white people rose up and all this right here. Yeah, they did. It was a lot of racism and hate speech and all that going on social media when Trump was president. It was a lot of it. But my question to them is always, so you think them people just started being racist when Trump became president? Them people was racist anyway. And then a lot of times on social media, you have to watch out for trolls. You have people that just do stuff. They just a spark fire. Like the other night, I was arguing with a guy. He was just talking crazy, and then he tried to end it with, "Man, don't shoot me, don't kill me," and all this. I said, "Man, you need to take your act on the road, cause you funny. You real funny because I mean, a lot of people haven't experienced, real racism. I mean, they love to say, "Oh, that's racist," but when you walking in the store and you passing by a white lady and she see your hair a certain kind of way, she clutch her pocketbook. That's racism. You know, you walking by people car, they look up at you. You know, you speak to them, they don't speak back. They get out the car and lock their car door. That's racism. When I'm riding by in my truck, white guy looking at it, cause it's a nice truck. I get it all the time. They say it's a nice truck. Looking at the truck, just staring at it and staring at it till he can see it's a black man driving. Then he turn his head. That's racism. That's racism. By Trump saying stuff like immigrants taking black jobs, which is true. I mean, which is true. I mean, cause me, I used to work over to it was called Bellcrest. We used to build mobile homes over there, you know, over in Millen, Georgia, right? I say about it was, well, I'm gonna say 50-50, 50-50 black, 50-50 Mexican. You had the white people that was in charge or whatever, and you might have had. Matter of fact, I don't remember one white man working there. I don't remember one white guy working on the floor. I might be wrong, but either way, me personally, I'm not. I don't feel like I'm above a job like that, and I never will because if something happened to the job I got now, I'd be right over there filling out an application because I got to work. I got to feed my family. But soon as Trump say, "Oh, the immigrants taking the black and the brown jobs," oh, what kind of jobs he think we got? What kind of jobs he? I'm like, huh? Y'all really took that out of that? Y'all got that out of that. And my thing is, like I said, I'm not trying to change nobody's mind. You vote for who you want. But I want you to just watch out for this fake propaganda that they's putting out there. The Kool-Aid that that's making you drink. Like Jim Jones and the people with the CIA, they all that stuff there. Don't drink the Kool-Aid, man. Make your own decision. Like now, even now, even if I wanted to vote Democrat, I still would because I didn't get a chance to choose the candidate. This woman that they got going right now, Kamala Harris. And like I said, she the VP of the United States. I don't want to seem disrespectful or nothing. I'm trying my best not to be. I hope I'm not be. Because like I say, anything you say is subject to interpretation. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but she was hand selected. She was hand selected. Them folks know Joe Biden is going down. They knew that before, way before the Democrat primaries. They knew that, but they also knew when Kamala Harris was running for president in 2020, she had to drop out the race early. Was one of the first couple people to drop out because nobody understood what she was talking about. You know what I'm saying? And you talk about Trump, being detrimental to the black community. Now, research has shown now that they love to say Kamala Harris locked up a lot of black people for weed. Then she got up there and joked about it. But if you read a little deeper, it also said them folks didn't do much jail time. You know what I'm saying? They didn't do much jail time. And you're allowed to change your stance on stuff. At first, she didn't feel like, people should be smoking weed. But now she feel like, okay, we need to legalize it, right? Okay, cool. You're allowed to change your mind. But it is some documented cases where she was just straight wrong. One black guy did 7 years for a murder he didn't commit. One guy was finna be put on death row because she wouldn't allow DNA evidence that could exonerate the man. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of stuff going on. And like I said, you just gotta read, and and from what I'm seeing now, you really can't even trust fact check. You really can't even trust fact checking. You have to just keep reading and reading and reading until you get an understanding, or look at documentaries, or look at videos, or real life testimonies of these people of what's going on. And like I said, if you want to vote Democrat, that's what you do. That's what you do. But at the same time, don't try to put a yellow stripe down my back, cause I'm not. Cause I'm not. I'm really not. I'm telling you, and it done got so bad to the point where usually, like, I voted for Warnock, I voted for Ossoff in the Senate and all that. It's getting to the point where I'm probably not gonna vote for them, even though Ossoff did stand up when it was a judge they was trying to put on one of the Supreme Courts. I think it was one of the lower level courts. Each state got a Supreme Court. Then you got the big Supreme Court that they trying to tear down or do whatever. Which I believe they just doing that because they outnumbered on the court. But anyway, Ossoff said, he didn't like her stance on trans rights. Now, how would that do for him in his next election? I don't know, because you coming out of Georgia, bro, and we all know Atlanta, no disrespect, is kind of a hotbed for that stuff. That's what they have going on there. But like I said, another issue that just came to my mind. I'm sorry, it didn't just come up, it been up, but it just came to my mind. This abortion thing, Roe versus Wade gets overturned, and people going ballistic about that. But to my understanding, could be wrong, it's just saying that the federal government doesn't make the decision. The state make the decision. So if you live in a state where they're not allowing abortions, I think you got two options. I mean, you got the option to move, which I know is hard, cause hell, I want to move and can't right now. You know what I'm saying? But you can also vote the people out of power, because when you come to state elections, your vote counts more, because it's not what it was. 150 million people voted last year in the federal elections. It's not 150 million people. Your vote counts more in a state election. You know what I'm saying? So vote them people out. If the majority of the people in the state want to allow abortion, then that's who y'all need to have in power. That's who y'all governor need to be, or y'all legislators, or senate, or whatever. You need to vote them kind of people in. If you don't want no abortions in your state, them are the people you need to vote for, and make sure that when you go in to vote, you know they stance on it. And if they get up there lying, saying I ran on this, but I'm gonna do this, then what you need to do is call them out on it, because your state representatives and state uh, people will get a letter way before the president will. You write a letter to the president, boy, they probably gonna throw that bitch out soon as you put it in the mailbox. But like I said, that's just one of them things that the country is so in awe, and then they trying to put it out like, oh, Trump gonna ban abortion nationwide. If Roe v. Wade revokes, federal interference in these cases, how can he do anything? We got to remember that you got federal and state. You know what I'm saying? And federal is the big net, state is the little net. And we are the little people in the little net. That's the main thing we can control when we vote. And to show you that I'm not such a Trump puppet, or whatever they want to call me, or whatever, he said immunity for cops. Now y'all know good and well, anybody who know me know good and well, I'm not for that. Not in the least bit. Not with the George Floyd, this current thing with uh Massey, Sandra Massey, or whatever. Massey, I know it's Massey. But anyway, the thing with her is senseless. And the way he explained that, I do understand that cops are humans and not all of them are bad. And sometimes you make a mistake. But these cases like George Floyd and Sonia Massey are clear cut cases, man. Clear cut cases. And he explained it like it'll be a panel that looks and reviews the case and sees this cop eligible for immunity. And no, you just don't need to do that. Period. You don't need to do that. Period. Just leave it how it is. And for a lot of people in Georgia that's complaining about it, we reelected Governor Kemp. And hey, I'm not like Trump. I think Kemp is doing a fine job. I'm not saying he's a bad governor or nothing like that, but our cops already have immunity. They already have a sense of immunity a little bit, or you know, hey, we can only charge, or you can only uh get something to try for certain things, and this and that. That's already in effect in Georgia. As a matter of fact, as soon as them damn riots started in Minnesota, that's when he was on that. He was on that. You know what I'm saying? But that's just my take on the whole thing. And like I said, Sean, hey bro, I miss you. Hopefully you'll be here next time. We getting revved up for sports. We gonna be going hard this year. I finally paid, for the StreamYard thingy. We're gonna try to go hard with the sports this year. But I just had to get that off my chest, because it was like I was going crazy, man. I was sitting in the house the other day, and Punch was talking to me, and I had done dozed off, not dozed off, but zoomed out, and was thinking about talking on the microphone, and my lips was moving, and she was like, "Boys, you done went crazy." I was like, "I'm going there." So hopefully, getting on the mic and telling my opinion about the whole thing will make me feel better. Now, comments are always welcome on my videos, but please take it easy. Take it easy now. Don't come with all that crazy talk. Like one guy done ran me off his page. I ain't gonna say no name. Supposed to be my cousin-in-law and all this right here. He know who he is. He told me I'm sounding like a racist old white man, and I'll be like, "Nah, bruh. You know, I'm in the hood, bruh. You can ask my nephews. You can ask any of these young boys in the streets or whatever. I ain't no Uncle Tom like what you saying, even though they do call me Uncle Tom. That is my nickname, man. Crazy, right? But anyway, they know I do try to mentor to the youth and all that, and my message was to him is get off the internet and get in the game. Put your boots on the ground, get out there and do some work, man. And I try to do. You know, I haven't done that in a long time, but I do try. I do try. So that's why I don't worry about when, people, yeah, he's selling us out and all this, and not really. Because I think sometimes you have to protect people from from their own self, man. It's like man, I just I just can't do it, man. The Democratic Party, and I don't want nobody to think that okay because Kamala Harris is a woman, you're not gonna vote. No, I was against this before she was even coming up, for the nomination for the presidency. That Galbert lady, the one that was running for president in 2020. I think she'll be a good candidate to run for president. Not probably not this year because she left the Democratic Party. Because from what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing from her is she feels the same way I do. They just don't, instead of taking veering to the left, you took a sharp left. You didn't, ease us into it. You just okay, this is what we're doing here. And like I said, I ain't with it. I ain't with it. But I done used up 30 minutes. Like I said, we finna end this show right here. Don't forget, everybody's welcome to leave whatever in the comments. I say just be nice about it, okay? And I will get back with you. Anybody tell you that I do respond, and I do respond politely most of the time, even when people try to be mean and just because I got a difference of opinion, don't try to act like I'm still not the same person that you know, because I am. I am the same person that you know, the same person that everybody who grew up with. I just got a different opinion. I got into it with one guy on my page because he told me I'm lost. And my reply to him was, because I disagree with you, I gotta be lost. I mean, I think that's a sign of narcissism or something that people gotta agree with you. Maybe that's just me. But this has been Let's Be Reasonable, presented to you by Country Vision Studios. And y'all know how we end the show. Peace and prosperity.